Hey guys, today I'm going to be giving you guys a Star Wars top 9 review, breakdown rather. And later I'm going to be going over some movie news that I found quite fascinating, even though it's been rumored for a while. So, yeah, and this even is a property of a website as well, which I love, Collider, and I totally agree with their list somewhat. But, so here goes of my 9 Star Wars movies, and this is not going to include the Clone Wars animated movie, but here it goes. So number 9 is The Phantom Menace. Now, George Lucas, he is one of the greatest writers of all time, obviously, but some people just hate this film, as I did. Especially, I'm bringing the story to life of the young Vader, like would it be sort of following episode 4 and perhaps 7, which had like the same formulas in a way for 4 and 7. Like some people think it's rehashed from 7. But the casting is really great. Like Ewan McGregor, everybody kind of thinks, and I believe somebody did fan art of him with Obi-Wan Ewan McGregor's face a while back from Giant Canvas broadcast. Liam Neeson's one of my favorite actors ever. I think when I was younger, I used to have a crush on the guy who plays Anakin Skywalker, and this one in particular, Hayden's kind of cute. Too. Number 8 is number 2, Attack of the Clones. I basically agree, like with every Collider film that they do on here. But I totally agree that George Lucas found himself struggling with the screenplay, especially like given the reaction of 1999's The Phantom Menace. But I love all like the lightsaber battles, even though it was leaning more heavy around it. It was often sluggish. Kind of emo, Anakin Skywalker. The love story between Anakin and Padme was painful. Like, they have zero chemistry. Like, maybe some people think oh my god. Dane DeHaan, he's from Valerian, the City of a Thousand Planets, in a few of the movies. Some people think he would have been better than Hayden. And maybe somebody else. Maybe somebody that, Dane had worked with. If he was Obi-Wan, could have probably, if he was Anakin, they could have probably had the chemistry. Even though, like, both actresses, like, I'm a huge Thor fan, so Natalie Portman. Number 7 happens to go to episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Obviously, they got a hold of things like all the actors. Really, if it weren't for how the film treats Padme at the very end, I could see it landing a big hit a bit higher on the list. That's exactly Collider's words. And I love the backstory and how it connects both trilogies, like the originals and the prequel trilogies as well. Like, I'm a huge fan of Harrison Ford and some of the cast from the originals, which I'm gonna bring up any second. But guys, number 6 is Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. I actually like this film very much, even though it's at number 6. There's just a few other better Star Wars movies, get like A New Hope and everything. I like the way that it connected all the movies. The prequels to pre-prequels. Maybe we'll even get a little glimpse of Jyn Erso and them in the Han Solo movie as well. Since it's about like 10 years or something, maybe before A New Hope starts. And this is a couple of days before. Like, the Death Star is supposed to be small in this movie. But like, yeah. So, like, the Death Star is supposed to be smelling in Han Solo Star Wars story, or whatever you guys want to call it. But maybe we'll get, like, a little hint of them. I don't know. There's a podcast out there called Steel Wars, and I believe Ben Mendelsohn's supposed to be on it in a couple of days or tonight or something. So, maybe they'll ask about Solo, like, if he or anybody is in it. Because Darth Vader is supposed to show up, you guys. There's rumors Palpatine may show up. Or, Grand Moff Tarkin. The casting is also, really great. Even though some of the CGI effects weren't. Like, the Leia one was spot on. But, some people, including myself, kind of hated the Tarkin one. Even though it wasn't perfect casting. And it kind of made me cry just with the fact, Carrie Fisher had died. She loved this performance, and this is like the second last time that we get to see her, I guess, or whatever, even though she was in number ones, obviously. Michael Giacchino's score, I thought was pretty great, but he's no John Williams, guys. But yeah, the casting was perfect, and I actually wonder. So here's my question for you guys. And I may even like do it on Twitter or whatever. But do you think Gareth Edwards is going to get another chance? Like another standalone perhaps? Or if they continue the saga films? Because if you think about it, Rian Johnson, he did Last Jedi. He's coming back for his own standalone trilogy, I think next year or something. J.J. Abrams, he did 7. He didn't do 8, but he's coming back for 9. And who knows if Solo is great. Maybe Ron Howard will do another one, but maybe Gareth can like do Obi-Wan or something. Mads Mikkelsen's like one of my favorite Danish actors. He's just great. I kind of want to see him be in the show, in the movies. Like if they did a prequel to Rogue One, kind of. Even though it's called basically Revenge of the Sith. Donnie Yen steals the show. And I kind of like all this diverse cast. Like you have Diego Luna, who I think was in Coco. And he's Mexican or whatever. Riz Ahmed and a few other people. Number 5 happens to be The Force Awakens. That's one of my favorite Star Wars films, actually, that brought me back to the saga that I fell in love with when I was like 5, but there's just some things lacking, and I kind of think it's rehash a little bit. Like, if you guys have seen, obviously, New Hope, you guys will pretty much know what happens in this film. Even though the casting is great to see some of the old people. Like, Mark Hamill in a short little appearance, Carrie Fisher. I might cry when I say Carrie Fisher again later. And Harrison Ford and the droids, obviously, even though Kenny Baker's last performance as well, I believe was this one. And Anthony Daniels. And I wonder, you guys, so this may be like a Spotlight type one as well, but where is Lando? He's not in this one. He's not in Last Jedi. Maybe he'll be in 9? Maybe he won't. And I loved all these other new characters as well, which gives you a lot of questions as well. Like, if you guys have seen A New Hope, which I'm sure you guys have, is Rey related to somebody that we've already known of, sort of like what A New Hope was for Vader and Luke and Leia? I kind of think I know who, but I have to wait until these 2 films come out. I think I mentioned this a few times, but there's this girl named Kira, I think her name is. She's played by Emilia Clarke from Game of Thrones. She's Daenerys in the show. And she looks kind of in the trailer for Han Solo like she's going to be a love interest or get close enough, so maybe. And I think it was in canon where he had a bunch of girlfriends. So maybe they could be parents, and she kind of looks like Daisy, like the facial wise and everything. I think Amelia is British as well, which I believe Daisy is. Or Obi-Wan's grandkid, obviously. Plus, it would make sense time-wise as well. I don't watch that much canon, but I believe he had a girlfriend in the animated series Clone Wars. But who knows? I guess we'll have to wait until Obi-Wan Kenobi comes out, hopefully next year. Number 4 happens to be one of the greatest Star Wars movies ever, in my opinion, but I just had to put it as at number 4. But guys, Return of the Jedi. Here, I'll put a little bit back. It remains very strongly to the original trio, and it even gives you more insight, I guess, in a way, on what The Force Awakens was, in a way, like some of the characters' motives, maybe even a few little questions. Like, if Rey isn't a Solo or Kenobi, is she Skywalker somehow? Because people think, I kind of think so too, that Adam Driver's Kylo Ren could be telling lies. I guess we'll have to see. Or even like stuff to come in the future. Like, this is gonna be another spoiler, guys, for The Last Jedi, but Yoda has an appearance. He died, I believe, in number 3, number 4, 5. But so he has a Force Ghost appearance, and I think special editions of the originals 4, 5, and 6. I think 6 had Force Ghosts, including Anakin Skywalker's Hayden Christensen version, and Yoda. I think even a Liam Neeson, because he obviously died. Yeah. Number 3 happens to go to one that I personally love. It's probably the one that got me into Star Wars, but The Empire Strikes Back. Now, I know that this says somewhere number 2, but number 1 is my number 3 on this list. But it has this one has the famous "I love you, I know" quote, which is like one of my favorite ones. I don't know if I showed you guys, but over here somewhere there's a poster, like over there a little bit more, there's a poster of Return of the Jedi. There's one of Empire, and like it has all the cast from Empire and like Return of the Jedi. And I'm basically like, I love you, I know it, the Harrison Ford one. Because I'm like a huge Harrison Ford fan. When it comes up to his birthday in July, I'll probably do like a movie review trivia, like some of my favorite movies, go over what I like about them, what to possibly come, if there was like a sequel, or who I'd probably want to see in a remake or whatever. Because knowing Hollywood, they'll remake some movies one day. Like, who knows? In 40 years or something, let's just say, somebody decides to do, let's reboot Star Wars. Which everyone will probably have a problem with. It was Carrie Fisher's movie, it's Harrison Ford's, it's Mark Hamill's, Kenny Baker, Anthony Daniels. I can go on, but I don't. But it was their movie. Like, it would probably be stupid of them to remake Star Wars at any time. Maybe even Indiana Jones too. Like, that's one of Harrison Ford's famous characters, I believe. Especially, like, besides Solo, besides Indiana Jones, and besides The Fugitive, and maybe like Air Force One, Jack Ryan, Indiana Jones, and the others are probably not going to get remade unless somebody really wants to, or take it in like a different direction. Like, nobody knows how Indiana 5 is supposed to go, which is coming out, I believe, next year. But, yeah, and I don't know what I was supposed to say. Number 2 goes to the one that started it all back in 1977, A New Hope. I personally love A New Hope, you guys. Okay. It's like my favorite Star Wars movie, even though I put this at number 2 because there's one slightly better. Like, don't be the judge of me, you guys. I just prefer one of the greatest Star Wars films ever after this. But I totally love New Hope. It ties up perfectly, especially like if you guys are prequel fans like me. Like, whatever happened to Obi-Wan? I'm a little bit tired. It's Monday, guys. Whatever happened to Anakin's kids? Because, like, as far as I can remember from Revenge of the Sith, you don't see Vader going after the ship that has Obi-Wan and stuff on it. So, like, obviously these films are out, but, like, if you're back, like, in the 1977, I believe it was, then you guys would probably think, did they survive or something? And then later on, like, 15 years later or whatever, George Lucas would create another Sega story, which would involve the characters' parents, basically, from beforehand. Well, some of them. And guys, number 1, and I don't know why people hate this word, but number 1, guys, The Last Jedi. Okay. So it's one of my favorite Star Wars films. I've seen it like 5 times, and I'm kind of hoping to get it for my birthday. I'm probably going to go see Solo on my birthday, so be prepared for a spoiler-free review. Unless there is an embargo or whatever it's called. Then I'll totally, I don't know if it's for the U.S., but then I'll totally, do a review of what I didn't like about Solo. I'm not going to include that on my list, kind of, yet. Like, the trailer looks pretty good. The influences I heard are pretty good as well. Because I follow 2 amazing Star Wars type fan bases on Twitter, Star Wars News Net, and Arbat, Resistance Base. But yeah. And they give out awesome Star Wars content. I highly recommend that you guys go watch them. Usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or even sometimes the night before or something, they would like put polls. Sometimes the best answer gets on the show, or you can always tweet them at Arbat. But like they usually have it in the discussion or whatever, like how you can tweet them the questions, or just look in the video description or whatever. But yeah, The Last Jedi is one of my favorite Star Wars films, even though it's like one of the saddest for 2 reasons. Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker basically gets turned into a Force ghost, which is kind of awesome. Like, we'll probably get to see him back in some way or form. Maybe Obi-Wan Kenobi, maybe Yoda again, maybe Anakin Skywalker, Qui-Gon. I can go on and on. Like, who knows who's dead and who's alive in Star Wars at like this time in the movies. Like, nobody knows if Lando is dead, because he wasn't in The Last Jedi. He was in The Force Awakens. I think he's probably most likely, though, Finn's dad. And Rey is most likely a Kenobi. I don't know. She doesn't make sense to be a Skywalker. But then again, if I can remember correctly, Yoda. Why do I keep on doing this? Han Solo had like 4 kids or something in canon. Luke had a son. But yeah. And of course, the late great Carrie Fisher was her last film, you guys. I swear to God, I think I'm gonna like cry or something when she dies in the movie. Because nobody knows, you guys, if, try not to cry, if, like, what's gonna happen to her. I actually feel like I'm gonna cry. But I don't know what's gonna, like, happen to Leia at all. Like, are they gonna recast you guys, or are they just gonna kill her off, like, in the opening credits, or, pardon me, have an extra or somebody and them just going to the steam planet without any lines, or like on a shuttle or a pod or whatever, and then Kylo blowing her up or whatever, not knowing that she's on the ship too, because I believe it was A New Hope, and there was a pod that had R2-D2 and C-3PO, but there was no human life on it, so I don't know if Leia could be detected, even though she is human, obviously. What? Maybe we'll get to see her one day again, like Leia, as a ghost? I don't know. We obviously saw her Force powers if you guys have seen The Last Jedi, so I don't know. Would she even be a Force ghost? Like at the end of 9? Maybe even training another generation of Jedi, sort of like what I think Rey's gonna do? But I guess please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be back maybe later with some great, fantastic movie news. But yeah. Actually, I'm gonna get ready right now, but please like, comment, and subscribe, you guys. I'll be back later with some It news and like a good question involving that. So bye, guys.